And we're back in the Noisy Boys podcast. Episode Who Fucking Cares? Whatever one it's going to be. Like,
I'm rocking the horizontal mic this week.
ooh.
And it's shit because every time I
you know,
I do this here.
you had a lot of time to prepare,
Yes.
and you chose that.
We just set up, ours is just set up all the time, so we just come in.
Yeah, just
Um,
come professionals.
That's
Go in over doing that.
Oh, we fucked it.
I actually keep bumping my head off my hat, so I'm not used to the extra space.
Bumping uglies.
Yep.
Guys, this just in. DMX, one of the dogs,
Yeah.
it's passed. Rest in peace.
X gonna give it to you.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
He's not giving it to anybody anymore.
Yeah. Well, we say with heavy heart. You
Yeah.
probably already know this, but for us, this is just breaking news.
Rip the big dog.
Yeah.
And other people died, but
Yeah.
that goes by the
Some
wayside.
And legacy.
Some dweeb called Prince Philip died apparently.
Oh god. Also
Don't
today.
care.
Also today. In other news.
No.
Ain't no DMX.
Yeah, we already did that Royal Cousins podcast, so
Mm.
look, Mags at check her out,
Who-
number 8.
Who you
We
more,
apparently we caused it. We might have caused it.
who
Yeah.
you
He
more
listened to that podcast. And
I,
he
uh,
just fucking.
I heard he had one too many time fast X and just
fizzed up. Who you more sad about, DMX or Prince Philip?
100% DMX.
100% I'm not
How many bangers did Prince Philip have?
Look at him.
Zero.
Look at him sit on the fence. He says, "I'm right in the middle."
the
I
Duke
don't-
of Edinburgh award is pretty banger.
Yeah, James's bit was basically in the Hitler Youth for fucking Prince Philip. Like. He was training you to be some sort of fucking
Mountaineer.
mountaineer soldier.
Sorry that I'm really good at walking mountains now, guys.
What did you even?
What'd you do?
Yeah. I
You
remember you was like camping.
Yeah, you walked up like
Come with a load of girls.
Wee.
you
They're
walked
all-
up like 3 different mountains and like did a wee camping night out. Packed all your food in one bag, carried in your bag. Oh, back breaking it. Ridiculous.
And you're all 18, hormones are flying, and you're all packed into a little steamy tent.
You're not actually all 18.
What?
I was had to think about that for a minute. You're not actually all 18.
What did you?
I
illegal.
can go as low as 16 or something.
Ooh.
15.
Okay, now let's not go into that territory.
Yeah, can of worms.
Oh, can of worms. So what have we been at this week?
Yeah, we need to get the
Fuck
pump,
me.
the pump up here.
Right.
I feel like every time I come here, just after some sort of drinking session,
Yeah, do you know
I'm
what?
still not. I was like 3 days ago. I don't think I'm still recovered fully. Like.
You seem to perfectly plan it. Like, right, we
Yeah.
go. Heavy night of drinking for the next 2 nights, and then we'll come here.
I don't know if I'm just getting old, or I also think it's just from the fact that my like diet, I haven't done any exercise, so it's like the hangovers are way worse because you're like your body's not in like peak performance to begin with, so it makes it like feel like like the next day that was me done. I didn't get out of bed. I was just there like in darkness.
Yeah, the last time the hangover I had was like so ridiculously bad, and like I couldn't even get out of bed. Like I think it's like as you get older, just the hangovers get so much worse.
I only
and
had
it's
like
so
I think I had like a 2-day or almost a 3-day hangover, like for the first time like before Christmas or
Yeah.
maybe it was actually at Christmas. We went
bad.
out, and this was whenever the pubs had just opened up, like, and I had like maybe 7-ish pints of Guinness, and I think Guinness gives you the worst hangover ever.
Yeah.
And I remember coming home and like being so ill and waking up the next morning and just not feeling right for 2 days.
I literally was just using my mask, but like as like a wee sleeping mask. I just had it over my eyes just so I didn't have to see light. Like.
Yeah.
Oh my
sleep it
God.
off, sleep
See,
it
we're
off.
talking like we're like fucking
Yeah.
near our 40s or something.
Yeah.
Like we're
I
still-
hate it whenever older ones are all like, oh yeah, I can't drink anymore, and all that kind of thing. And like, fuck, I don't want to be like that whenever I want to be drinking loads until I'm
Do you
fucking
know-
40.
Do you know what's
Yeah.
crazy as well? Like, because I was looking through the old podcasts, and I was like, I look so young there, and it was like from 4 months ago. It's just because like
the long
like
time
the
takes
drinks put the
toll.
war on you.
oh, it has like, and I'm just considering I haven't had a haircut in months. What are you fidgeting
Yeah.
with? Like,
Sorry, can you say that on your
fidgeting
on your
yeah.
phones?
That's
I
all
just needed some
fucked up.
extra wire length.
Yeah. So that was where we were at. We had people over the house.
What?
They were vaccinated. Don't worry.
Yeah, 6 people.
But it was just it was just nice talking to someone that wasn't us for once.
Yeah.
Like I'm so sick and tired of just everyone in the house just sitting there like, oh, not
being
yous
depressed.
again.
Just looking at each other day in, day out. Like, it's
Like the-
really,
There's not like nothing to talk about when everyone's just sitting there like, ah.
I feel like someone's gonna get Stockholm syndrome and just fall in love with someone else in the house. Like,
Maybe it's happening already. Like,
maybe it has already.
who knows?
But
used to.
so, and our audio is being polluted
By
again
dogs
by the,
again.
by the
Weekend,
neighbour's
weekend.
dog. By the way, see the next time the podcast and it's silence, you know that we've done something about that dog, and this is not evidence. You can't use this in court. But
Gonna boot it.
Something will
okay,
happen.
guys, what's going on in the news today, especially in the north of Ireland or Northern Ireland?
Roy,
And not good.
Yeah.
Not good at all.
Powder keg. Everything's kicking off.
They were throwing fireworks last night that actually sounded like bombs. Not that I heard it, but I saw the
It's
video.
also worth throwing actual
Actual
petrol bombs.
petrol
Yeah,
bombs,
yeah, but like, like explosives, man.
Like,
Yeah.
Some of them are mad.
Sickening.
It
We don't-
depressed me whenever you seen do you see the gates got smashed through, like,
Yeah.
and there's just people fist fighting each other in the middle
Yeah.
of the fucking street. I was like,
Also, that
Oh,
like
this
I
is
saw
what
that.
you wanna
I was like that fucking picture was shared so many times. Of it was like, on the gate it says, "There's never been a
Yeah.
good war or a bad peace," and there's just a guy like throwing a brick at it or something. Like,
yeah, it's like a Molotov or something. he's got.
ironic.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, like
So whenever they were fist fighting, was that like
fisticuffs.
was that like a nationalist loyalist?
You're a loyalist Republican vibe.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing once they broke down them big things, they were the peace walls. So
Yeah.
They
the
broke
peace wall-
shit down.
No, no, no. They didn't.
well, they
break it,
bust them
just
big
busted
gates open.
through.
Like.
They stole
But
two
the point of
cars.
them gates is to like separate
Two areas.
like streets and all.
Ooh.
I think they're like the weakest point in the wall. Though. Did you ever say the wall? It's like fucking massive. Like, it's
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
don't know if it's 10 meters tall or whatever it is. Like, but these gates
Game
are
of
like
Thrones.
normal gate size.
Yeah.
So like you can throw shit over them. Like,
And like someone, I saw a video of like someone just driving their car,
Yeah.
slamming into it. Like, that probably, to be fair, definitely wasn't their car.
Yeah,
They
no,
definitely
they-
stole it.
two cars were stolen and like drove straight on that.
Like that bus was nuts.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
And you see,
I thought someone was driving it.
No, but I'm pretty sure I read that apparently there was no one in it, but someone took the handbrake off, so it was just like rolling
somebody,
and just on fire.
whoever they were, like went down and was like, all passengers and the bus driver, GTFO, lock, and hijacked the bus. And yeah, I think just like fucking another handbrake off.
Wipe
and-
out.
See, that's the thing. The other day, I was talking to someone and like wondering if they were going to come out to Belfast, and my cousin or whatever, and he was like, "No, my dad said it's too dangerous right now," and I was like, "What? What the fuck you mean it's too dangerous? Like, what?"
Yeah, that's weird.
And then I went literally as I opened Instagram, I was like, bombs, people killing each other. Well, not killing each other, but like fucking throwing shit and exploding cars and all. And I was like, when did this happen? I was so like, I'm so out of the loop all the
I
time.
was keeping
like,
tabs on it, but I just know we're in the fortress. Like.
The first sign
Mm.
of somebody dying or something like that'll be
uproar.
bad news.
I don't want the
Ah,
trouble
yeah.
stuff.
That's like
What a wipeout.
yeah, literally. And I'm just like, anytime I see it, I'm like, oh my god, I can actually not be more depressed right now. Like,
Also, like, I
Why
can
they-
foresee myself waking up and being like, Catholic killed, beat, or loyalist killed, beat, or
Yeah.
Protestant, whatever.
why are they all like fucking 14-year-olds as well? Like,
Some of them aren't
So-
though. Some of them are like fully
some-
grown men.
it's like
And some of
really
their-
crusty old men and like 14-year-old kids.
And their mums are like cheering them on the street. They're like,
yeah, there's
"Come
like
on."
there's
That
like
was,
thousands
yeah,
of
that
them.
video was so fucking. Someone like spliced it with the Avengers like thing. Do you know when they're all
Tony
like,
Stark coming.
do you know they're all like running and all their mas are like, "Go on, we fucking Jonty, go on." You're like, that is creepy. Like.
so cringe. Like, imagine like you burying a child, raising him, and then watching him fire fucking petrol bombs at a bus,
Yeah.
and then it's going,
You
"That's
are,
my boy."
you are
That's
doing
my
God's work,
boy.
son. Keep
Yeah.
it up. I don't understand that. Like,
I saw like a TikTok as well. It was like, if the peelers come to my house, and it was like this skit. Like, obviously, it was like I get so much like, but
I saw it.
yeah, it was all like,
Yeah.
my wee boy's done nothing. Why does he smell like petrol? Because he smokes fags or he works with something or whatever. Like, like all it was like it's kind of a thing. Like all the males defending their sons and all
yeah,
like
all the maze.
all
It's,
the males.
it's not.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's gross,
come
like.
on.
Ironically though, like some of the shit that it's like crazy shit's happening, but yet when you go on Twitter, people are more supportive of it than they were when students were just like having freshers. Like it's so crazy how that's a thing. Like you look at like whenever any student has this anything, they're just having drinks in their house.
Yeah.
People are like, fucking disgrace.
Yeah.
These kids should be fucking locked up, and then there's when this is happening. Oh no,
It's all in good.
yeah.
good
That's our culture. That's our culture.
Why is that
Is
your
it-
culture, by the way? That just as a standpoint. Why burning shit? Like, come on.
Yeah. Do something
Yeah,
It's-
never have I seen a
why not-
community of people who love fire so much
Yeah.
as them.
Yeah.
Like,
It's almost like they just fucking discovered it. Like.
Well, we ain't gonna polarize on here, but why?
yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like
Arlene's wilding out.
why why not a peaceful
Did
protest?
Arlene is
did you see
wilding
that
out.
tweet?
That was the most.
Crazy.
I can't believe that it was actually released from, like, not a leader of a country, but like
kinda
any
sick.
political figure.
Yeah.
It
you
was
know
kind
what I
of
mean?
sickening. Well.
It was just.
ridiculous.
I saw like some of the fucking.
Can you
yeah.
quote it? Just so they know what we're talking about.
Basically, it was the video of the bus being on fire, and she's like, you know, this is vandalism, this is whatever the fuck, this isn't like protesting,
Yeah.
yada yada yada.
don't know.
But this takes away from the real criminals,
Sinn
Sinn
Féin.
Sinn Féin, that
lawbreakers.
are like lawbreakers or something. You're like,
That's
what?
what paraphrasing there.
Yeah, but it was kind of the gist.
My thoughts are with the bus driver, or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
Joe blogs. Yeah,
Pretty stupid. I don't
to
know.
be fair, fucking Michelle O'Neill's kind of spa as well. Like, they're both body char.
Yeah, I like.
They're just
I don't know. No political opinions on this podcast.
Yeah, but could you imagine being that bus driver? Just turn around the corner, a bunch of like hooligans just stop the bus, and they're like, "Dude,
Yeah,
get off!" And you just watch your bus just like rolling down the hill on fire, and you're like,
it'd be pretty
"Well,
depressed.
I'm
Like.
fired." But
Same
do you
people
reckon-
who sets bus on fire are like the same people who's writing like fucking shit on the back of Translink bus seats. Like,
yeah, you
or
always,
those creepers that like
Willie's on the seats,
smack
like.
the seat so all the dead skin cells like float out. You ever see those people? Those crew.
that was James. Yeah,
You're a fucking nugget. That's so disgusting. It looks like a fucking
it's
plume,
gross.
like a nuclear plume or
In
something.
fairness, it's disgusting that their seats can do that. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
but that's why
fabric.
that's where all
And-
those like funky colors, because it like hides the dirt so
Mm.
well.
Do you ever see like those satisfying videos of them cleaning those things? Like where they
Yeah.
go from like
From like a
brown.
color, a color that's just like you don't think is a bad color because of all the
Yeah.
designs,
And
and
then
then
when-
they clean it, and you're like, oh my god.
It's like the
what
seats
do
were
you
black,
say
and then
on,
like, oh, I didn't realize they were supposed to be pink or something.
Yeah.
We're like,
yeah.
That's a laugh.
I was just talking about like just our old bus, and yeah, it's just crazy. Like looking at both the two different things, like how the bus drivers get so annoyed that like kids were like standing up on the bus
Yeah.
when we were to school. Then in Belfast, they're on fucking fire. They're
Yeah.
like, ah.
Did you
Yeah.
see the absolute plumes of smoke coming from it too? Like there's like a shot from a drone or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Well, isn't it the engine is right underneath the bus driver, isn't it? Or
no, it's right underneath
To
the
the
back.
back.
oh,
Because
is
I
it?
remember Des sitting on the bus and being roasted
Yeah.
alive because you're sitting right on top
Oh
of the
fuck,
engine.
right enough. Yeah, and it like rumbles and stuff. Like.
Yeah. Oh, it's gross.
So I wonder, like, what?
But the plumes coming off it were like pure black, as if they were just burning like I don't even know, just
tires
bad
or
things.
something.
Yeah.
like
Souls.
Souls. Them seats.
It's
Fucking stank off,
that.
man.
It's deplorable, and the Noise Boys podcast do not.
Yeah, Noise
Yeah.
Boys condemn
Condemn
it.
We condemn all
Yeah.
paramilitary activity.
Triple condemnation here.
Yeah, it's
Which
not.
is,
it's
why
not
hear
nice.
everyone
It's the,
chillax.
it's the fucking 21st century, pal. Get a grip of yourself.
I saw a couple of videos of Boris saying things that like were not true on Twitter today. Like, do you know they always like making them Trump videos of like things that he was saying like
Yeah.
not true, and all like. And one of them was like Boris
Dr.
and
Phib.
Emmanuel Macron, just being like, yeah, there will be absolutely no checks between Northern Ireland and like mainland England or whatever. Like, and
Yeah, well, that's why they're
and the
spazzing.
post-Brexit
like.
thing.
Is that why
Yeah.
they're trying? Is that like technically softening the blow?
From what I'm gathering, it's the I don't know, like high up loyalists who's saying that is their main reason, and it's the lower loyalists who's saying that the funeral's the reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And at the end of the day, the lowest level,
for-
they just like throwing fucking bricks.
yeah, for the viewers that are less informed, such as myself, what would you? What is the reasoning for the outrage, for the outburst?
Well, so basically, yeah, it kind of started from that boy, Bobby Story.
Yeah.
So he was like former IRA guy, and it always like remember during like or like fucking the SAG
Oh, he
quarantine,
had
whatever
the-
quarantine, his funeral there was like 2,000 people at or something,
Was it that?
including
I didn't know it was that
Michelle.
big. Fuck.
Yeah, it was, it was a lot of people there.
Even though like the week prior to that, Michelle and Arlene had agreed like right,
Yeah.
nobody is allowed outdoors in Northern Ireland for the foreseeable future or something.
And then of course like Michelle turns up, and then, you know, and then, so that was like the start of it, right? Then the loyalists they wanted people arrested, they want all that stuff.
yeah, they want
Then the police
prosecutions.
came out, were like, we're not gonna arrest anyone, just fucking leave it, holy shit. So they start spazzing about that. Then they also don't like the fact that Boris was like, right, vote leave. You'll be sweet. We won't put any borders in the Irish Sea. And then they were like, okay, yeah, we'll vote for whatever you want, Boris. Did it. Then Boris like, spoof.
Yeah.
We're putting a border up.
Where do you want to put the
Fuck
border? Ireland
yous.
or something?
It's just like through the sea, innit? Oh,
Oh yeah, it's not. Is it? It's not even a real border. Isn't it? It's a like a.
it's an economic border or something. So it's not like an
It's a
actual.
horde.
No,
No,
like there's
no,
no
no.
actual.
No, it's
Like you
it's-
couldn't take a photo of it.
It's
You know what I
because
mean?
basically that what they want is like that Northern Ireland stays within the European Union trading bloc or something.
Yeah.
but Then
But the loyalist problem is that they don't want any sort of division between
yeah,
what is
And
Northern
Yeah,
Ireland
yeah,
and
because they know once it starts, it's hard to then
yeah,
stop it from going further and further and further.
that's what their thing is.
Fucking shit. And then the South, they're like you see them on Twitter. Fucking
Southerners are like
they are
just as bad as Americans or something.
they're so
For
stupid.
people that live like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know how far
Have
down
no-
they're-
like-
Stone throw.
Absolute
from
no
people
clue.
where we can see their houses from where
Yeah.
we live. They know
Yeah.
literally nothing. Like
Crazy.
yeah.
I think
And
it's
they're
so
all
weird.
Just like what are they like? Oh, I don't want those Nordies. I don't want them part of the Republic or whatever. And you're like,
Yeah, I think that was also like I don't know. Like I saw a couple of them tweets on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh my god!" But it was as often as you would see one of the tweets on like from one of the loyalist sides. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
I don't even know
saying
how.
whatever.
I literally went on Twitter today because we were talking about it, and I was trying to find Ollie's tweet. Went to the comments, immediately got angry. Was just fuming. Was like, I don't
Yeah.
know how the fuck you
The people,
even
yeah,
have Twitter.
I spend like an hour every day on Twitter, like, and I don't know how
I think I'd die of like I'd
anger.
start getting tumors in my brain or something.
Yeah,
I would not be able to like keep that like anger. TikTok's getting bad now. Like it's crazy. TikTok was just full of fucking like weirdos,
people and
weirdos,
and now it's full.
and now it's just like
Of
political.
politics.
Yeah.
oh, well, it must be what you're looking up as well.
No, it's
No,
not.
well,
It just comes
I
up,
think it's because
and then I
where we are,
watch
it's just
it.
location.
Yeah, right,
It's just
no.
all
But
NI
everyone's
stuff.
watching, and like the comment section on those videos is nuts. Like you just
They're
scroll,
probably all
it's
young
either
people
a
as well,
Union
aren't they?
Jack
Oh,
or
yeah.
or a tricolor, and it's just that from like. So that's how they do. They almost like sign off their own comment with either a tricolor or
Yeah.
yeah.
or Union Jack to symbolize what
What team
stance
you're on.
they're in.
People on Twitter are the exact same. Like as soon before I read their comment, I look at their photo or their like Twitter. What do you call it? It's not like
Handle.
handle. And they'll either always have Union Jacks or tricolors or Celtic flags or something like, and you're just like, you've already like
So
set an image in my brain
Yeah.
of what you're gonna say or look like here.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so sad. It's just like their whole deal.
yeah, I don't get it.
They just, I don't know. It drains me so much.
Yeah.
It is draining people that aren't from this country. Like
I was also semi-happy to see Northern Ireland trending on Twitter because I was like, oh yeah, NI.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I
But
thought
NI,
on Reddit as well. Because I quickly, just in case I saw something for the podcast, like I just quickly opened it, and it was literally like the first thing on like Europe.
yeah.
The like thing for Europe was like Northern Ireland. There was like loads of people from different countries being like, yeah, what is going on over there?
Yeah, like I appreciated the fact that we are actually trending on something, but it was for all the
for
wrong
the
reasons.
very wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and always kind of the way it goes. Like we don't trend for anything good. Like literally.
Well, Game of Thrones, I guess that was our big moment.
there's fucking millions of other countries that had Game of Thrones in
Yeah,
there.
right
Like
enough.
big
Oh,
one.
Oh, but we claimed that. Like
Yeah,
we
we did.
really
It was
did claim Game
ours.
of Thrones was
It's
ours.
because that's all we have. It's like clutching
I
at
know, yeah.
straws. Like
Even though I would have like classed what do you call the town of Game of Thrones? Like I cannot remember the
King's
city.
Landing.
King's Landing. Do you know
That's
the way
in
that was all
Croatia.
shot in
Croatia.
Dubrovnik or whatever?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I would have claimed that so hard. Like that would have been like that's far
Yeah.
more than
Yeah, but people
anything that
people
was in
people
Northern
go
Ireland.
there to begin with on their holidays.
yeah,
like,
that's what I mean. Like they don't need it.
people need to be duped into like thinking that Northern Ireland has like a
good.
huge
Yeah.
like ice wall and shit.
Yeah, right enough. Like,
Can you imagine coming from one of those countries and then coming to the north? Like
I always think
and
about
just
this
being
like imagine going to Newry
I was trying to find
reported on.
or but I mean yeah I guess but
But
I
I
think
wouldn't be so bad because it's two big shopping centres, so it wouldn't be.
oh,
like,
it's
mate,
gross. You'd be
I
done
would
them
kill
after half an
myself
hour,
so
like.
quickly.
it's so bad.
Like imagine, but if you didn't think and you just went and you're like, oh, Canal Court, oh, this sounds
Yeah.
pretty fucking nice.
Unless you know somebody that lives here, like you will go to all the wrong places.
I imagine like just looking out your hotel window and you see the canal and the bus depot.
I think people come here for the main reason people come here. Realistically, it's like what we talked about last time. Do you know, like that pilgrimage that Jewish people do to go back to
Oh, Mecca.
Israel,
Yeah,
Yeah.
or the same kind of thing. Yeah,
Or yeah, what do you call the one that
The-
goes to Israel? I don't even.
The Muslim one you don't
Yeah.
know?
I'm not about
We-
the Muslim one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. It's like because so many Americans will have.
They all go to Cork and shit. And
yeah,
Galway.
Yeah,
But some of them, like
um,
even ones from Britain who have like a lot of them will have things. Like Michael Fassbender and all. He talked about him going back to the north and all for his holidays.
Well, he lives down south.
Yeah, but he
He's from
got
down south.
stopped as well. So.
I remember once me and I was in Cross, and for some reason we were in it's Cross McLean. For anyone listen, we were like in the fucking Casey's having like a fry,
Nice.
and I remember like this bus arrived outside in the car park, and all these people came off, and we were like, "What the fuck is going on there?" We realized it was like all tourists. I was
Why?
like pissing myself.
Yeah, I was
Imagine going to cross. You're in a Eurosport car park,
It's the
and like this guy's like
smallest thing
like
ever.
look around, like pointing.
No, like
weird.
realistically, if you
Mm.
are the people in the tourists in that bus, you take them like to the side of this bar and go, "That's it. Just look up there, church square. That's it. Okay, everyone back in the bus. Let's
Yeah.
go." That's literally
I
it.
just thought it was like Americans, like Chinese, like Japanese. I was just like, that's crazy. Imagine coming from their countries and you're
Yes,
just like,
actually, no, that's another
"What
thing.
is
Yeah,
this?"
a lot of Asians come here.
Yeah, Belfast.
Belfast
Belfast
is
is
huge,
also, yeah.
I
Asian
don't know
community.
how you would even go about organising a tour de cross.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's so
Fuck.
out of the
Contact about
way.
that, like-
Unless
I
you're
don't even
try-
like they're going. I don't like going when I have to. Like.
maybe if you're doing like an Irish history tour of the Troubles or something.
Yeah, it'd be quick while you're in the bus, being like, and you're right. There's a square on your left. There's a barracks, and that's that. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, please. Everyone in their cars like
Yeah.
calling up their uncles and fucking things like who's
There's
these
a load of
people
Chinese
in the-
people in
like,
the square.
Who are all these people here?
yeah.
Yeah.
We're not alienating Cross McGlen, but
Nah,
like sort
I
of
am.
fuck
Yeah,
sort of
sorta.
shit out. Sort it out.
I've
Come on.
never been to such an unwelcoming place.
Yeah, I think the funniest thing is that they still had like DVD rentals until like a year ago. Like
Yeah.
that's how fucking
Movie Zone thing.
Movie
Yeah.
Zone.
Yeah.
Shout out Movie Zone.
Shout out Movie Zone.
that is if that's not indicator of
Like
how
it
backward-
outlasted Blockbuster and Extravision. Like, so there you go. That's saying something about Cross. How fucking far in the past
And
they
to be
are.
fair, like all they would have to do is be like, right, well, we're going out of business here, turn it into a chippy, and then everyone across McLean's like, new chippy, new chippy, new chippy. Everyone go.
That's probably what that pizza shop is.
It is. That's what happens.
Yeah,
Like,
that's kinda,
like when Lewis goes home, he's like, oh, there's a new chippy in Cross McLean. Can't wait to go try it. Like, who cares? Who cares?
I remember him buying a HDMI at a movie zone and like him being like, "Oh yeah, so good."
Yeah,
Yeah.
like is that the?
for £35
I
or
know,
something.
is that the most like exciting thing that can happen across McLean? Is like a new shop opened. It's like,
I'm guessing there's not much else.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's fucking stupid, man.
Bit wild, but no. Speaking about the tourism, I remember I was looking up earlier on where that gate was on Google Maps, like, because I knew the area it's in. Like, I know it's between them two roads, but like, I didn't know exactly where it was, and couldn't find out for whatever reason. But I did like do a street view all the way down the Peace Wall. Peace Wall is ridiculously long
Yeah.
to what you think it is in your head.
Oh, are
like.
they firing shit at the Peace Wall?
Yeah.
That's
And over it.
a little bit of irony right
No,
there.
they're not firing shit at the Peace Wall, are they? I think they're firing. Oh, they're only at that gate, isn't it?
So
Nah,
is
I'm
it
sure it was,
going
like,
on
all
in
over.
Derry right now?
Yeah.
Is it? It's
Yeah,
going on
and
in
Carrickfergus and all.
yeah, Carrickfergus. That's what I was saying.
And Newton
Newton
Abbey.
Abbey.
Everywhere.
There was also
all
something
popping
else
off.
going on in Newton Abbey. Like, I don't know.
So could you
could
you see this fizzling out?
Yeah,
Like
probably.
how do you go about containing a situation like that?
It's probably just all the good weather.
Yeah.
Once
Once
it
get
starts
stuck
ta-
indoors, like.
Once it starts pissing down, like they won't be fucking so.
Yeah,
but
but
keen
sorry,
on it.
like
like to be
so
fair,
easy.
when it's sunny, everyone kind of wants to throw a brick.
Yeah.
That's what you do. It's
Yeah.
natural.
It's
Like.
just
It is
like-
natural.
Two things: you go to Botanica drink, or you start throwing bricks.
And makeshift petrol bombs and
Whatnot.
whatnot.
But a lot of like Spanishy, European looking tourists, like on Google Maps, you could see them like just like getting photos, all like black cab taxis, like all along the Peace Wall, and like European looking tourists getting their photos taken by the taxi driver.
Oh yeah, who?
On Google Maps, like that's what that was. Oh, it's so funny.
That's
Yeah.
also, is it not like a British taxi though? Those black ones, right?
they're London
Belfast are
taxis.
like really really famous for them as well. Though.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
God knows.
You see like one
I've
about
never been
here
in one.
every so often.
Never been in
they're
one once.
dearer than a normal taxi.
Why would you want to get in one? They're shit. They look ugly as fuck as well.
Black taxi tours.
Is it like a touring thing? Is that
Yeah,
what
it's
they do?
not. It's
Oh,
not like
okay,
it's not an
okay.
actual taxi service.
So I was wondering. I was like, I've never.
Yeah.
I always.
I think you
get-
can get them as an actual taxi
Huh.
service, but they're like an extra
Probably cheaper than fucking Uber.
like for a 50p
Uber's the
journey.
cheapest.
It's like a £3.
Uber's not the cheapest.
It is. Uber's cheaper than
Mate.
taxis.
No, well, not when we were getting them in fucking first year. Remember a time, like every time that's why you never get them.
No, that's why everyone gets them. Is it
Our
not?
ones
Because-
get
No,
Uber sometimes.
Yeah,
I
is
remember
that not because they are cheaper than taxis? So, like,
but then why would
is
everyone
that
not
the whole
get them?
thing in New York is that they literally put taxi services out of
Ah,
business?
Yeah, but it's New York, like it's not fucking here.
Yeah,
I'm almost
enough.
I'm almost certain that's why. Like why would everyone not just get Ubers? Like why do we always get value cabs or phone a cab?
Because they're
Shout out.
handier.
Yeah, exactly. I'm almost certain they're way more expensive.
Or Windsor taxis.
We're gonna
Remember
need to, we're
remember
gonna
a
need
time
to
we were-
fact check that one because I would say that they are less expensive. I just don't think they're as prolific here.
I don't know. I just thought like if they were like because remember we would only get them if there was no taxis available. Like it was the very last thing, and be like, oh fuck, we'll get an Uber. Because remember we only got them a couple of times in the first year, and it was always like a last at being like we'd phone a cab, phone value cabs. They'd be like, no, you're not gonna get a taxi in a couple of hours. Like. So
Taxis
then
and-
we'd be like, right, fine, we'll get a fucking Uber.
taxi people are like sort of notorious for being dodgy, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Taxis in Dublin are especially notorious for being dodgy.
Yeah.
Like I remember the first time we got one. It was like going to a nightclub in first year, and like this taxi driver, absolute legend. Like shout out Eugene Delaney.
He's sitting at
The
home like-
huge.
And he was just telling us the life crack like about taxis and shit.
That actually reminds me of a story.
And he says like whatever you do, as soon as you get into the taxi, make sure he has the meter running, and make sure he's got like a wee badge or something.
Yeah.
It's like,
There was one time where I was getting a taxi back to the gaff, and it was the strangest encounter I've ever had with a taxi man. So he like pulled up on the thing. He didn't really speak the whole time the journey. Like I was kind of like, that's good. I kind of like that in a taxi man because I would rather just sit there and fucking mong out instead
Yeah,
of having
my
to
life.
make shitty conversation, like small talk. And so you pull up on the curb, and I go to get out. He was like, no, wait, close that door. I was like, what?
that's where it ends.
And I was like, right, okay. He closed the door. He's like almost like looking over his shoulder and all. I was like, I'm gonna die. Something's gonna happen here. He's gonna like drive off. I'm like, but I was just like too tired. I was like, what's up? And he was like, look, listen, not a lot of taxi people are gonna tell you. No, he goes, first, here, take this. Yeah, this is what he did. He was like, here, take this. Put his hand behind him, and it was like £1. And I was like, is he asking for a service here or what's
Yeah.
going on? I like took it and I was like, cheers. And he was like, that's my thing. Students in my taxi, I give them £1 every journey. And I was like, thanks. And he was like, a lot of taxi people aren't going to tell you this, but ask for a receipt every time you get in a taxi because, look at this, goes down. This was the most painful thing I've had to go through. Like, he had this shitty little phone that took like an hour to load like a page on the internet. And he was like, look at this. And you type in the hyperlink to HTTP, like I literally
Yeah.
typed the whole thing, and I was like, oh, put it on, like, you know, the wee bar thing loading. He was like, I'm sitting in the back of the seat, and he goes, look at all them still not loading. Like, he's like, "Wait, look at all them look at them rewards you can get. $5 off Sphinx."
Pretty
That's
doing.
And I
actually
was
not
like-
that
I was
bad.
like, this is actually turning out to be pretty cool. Like, and he was
Yeah.
like, look at all these rewards. You get a taxi, you can get this stuff. Taxi people won't tell you. I have no idea why. And like the
He's like,
way,
there's a pound. There
Yeah.
you go, on your way, sir.
and he was like, yeah. Also, this is a wee pound. And he's like, I give them to all the wee girls. Like, I'm into all the students.
nice.
Like, no, but yeah, it was the weirdest encounter. I remember
I-
getting out being like,
Remember
Ooh.
that time me and you? And this is again, this is because this is what I brought up when we got that Uber, and we were going out, and there's this guy. He kind of wasn't really. He was just, he was just kind of keeping himself. Then we passed that, what do you even call that fucking square? Donegal
Trafalgar?
Pass or whatever.
don't go pass, yeah.
Yeah. And do you know there's like the bookies is there?
Yep.
And this guy was like going into it, and he was like, "Oh fuck's sake," and we were like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, that's my mate," and
Oh,
he
yeah.
had this is mad. Like he was like, that's my
I don't know
mate,"
about this.
and we were like, "Oh, what?" And he's like, "Yeah, he is like in like 40 grand worth of debt, and he's like his gambling problem, and."
Like, he thought it was clean or something.
And we thought he was clean, so he like was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, lads. Like, can I pull over here? I need to phone his wife. And we were like, yeah, go for it. Like, it's fucking it's excitement.
You're
Like,
this is better than just sitting
Yeah,
there like
just
that. You're
sitting
like,
about
go
it.
ahead, pal.
you're
Take
like,
all
go.
time,
I like
In
phone.
fact, put it on loudspeaker. I want to.
Yeah, he like phoned this guy's wife. Was like, yeah, I saw him going in, all that stuff. I was like, this is so weird.
He started. He broke down in
Vanilla.
tears
The
and all.
news is
He was-
bad. That's a wipeout. Like,
Yeah, so many wipeout stories. Taxi
why,
drivers.
why is there always you get the strangest stories when you're in taxi? Like I remember there was this one guy. Like always, I used to dread. I was like, see if I like missed the bus or if I like didn't have my car to drive to the Met in the morning, I'd be like, fuck me, I gotta get a taxi. No, but it is about 7-8 quid. Like so I was
I
like,
never got
fuck.
a taxi until I was like 18. Like.
Yeah, but I got in the back. Boy was chatting shit to the minute I got into the end about. Actually, to be fair, it was pretty funny. It was kind of entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. He was like, he. I don't want to do his accents, be really racist because he let's just say broken English. And he was talking about like this is whenever vaccines were like almost like a murmuring. It wasn't even like it was just like talked about. There
Yeah.
wasn't any kind of like advances or whatever. And he was like, no, I know about this COVID thing. It's not. What do you think it is, bots? And I was like, I mean, that's what it said. No, wasn't bots.
Not that.
It was. I can't remember the exact same. He said like, I don't know. He's like flying creatures, flying creatures. And I was like flies or fucking like what, like insects. And he was like, yeah, like I was like locusts. And he was like, yes. He was like robot locusts. I feel like I'm not making this up. This is what he was saying. Robot locusts have like like God has had like put like like those locust plagues.
Yeah,
Like he said
yeah.
this is what like bioengineered locusts had like spread the coronavirus, and this is what it was. And I was like,
You're just like, bro,
Really?
I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get around my day
Yeah, I was
here.
like-
Like,
Is
No.
that right?
I was like, that's really interesting. I was like hyping. I was gassing him up the whole time. I was like, that's really really interesting. Tell me more, please. And he was like, tell me all this other outlandish shit about other things. And I was like, this guy should fucking write a book. Like, it'd be hilarious.
So high.
Yeah, that's great.
see, I always feel like when you get them during the day, they're always so much more chatty. Whereas at night,
Yeah.
when you're going out or something, they're usually kind of just like,
Oh yeah, I was I think I was coming back from the airport or something one time and I had to get one on my own. Like, and I was like, oh, this is such a wipeout. Like, got in the car and the boy was like, do you ever just sit in the front seat?
Yeah.
On your own.
No,
All the time.
I always get in the back, and I feel so awkward
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it too.
Oh
Like,
no,
I'd
I'll
get-
always get in the front.
I got in the front
because
seat.
I
this
always
time.
touch hands with them when they reach for the fucking gear stick. Like, I go
on their lap.
You're going for that one? Ooh, oopsie.
Ooh,
Here's how you
cheeky.
pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got in the front seat anyway. Like, and your boy, like, he was like, he sort of seemed spaced out of it, and I was like, oh well, what's the crack or whatever. Like, just having a conversation.
Eyes rolled in the back of his head.
Yeah,
like.
he was like, working on an 18-hour shift here.
Oh, wipeout.
And I was like,
I'd be shitting myself.
You're like, oh,
I
Birdie
was like-
can't pee my eyes awake here, bro.
and I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I just took like a 2-hour nap in the taxi or something. Like, and I was like,
Weirdly,
mate, that is so gross.
that
Brr. Like, just recline the seat
Yeah, I
back.
don't know.
Really, that reminds me of like almost another one I was in, and they just like he was just saying how he hadn't been asleep in so long, and that he was like just keeping himself going and
Yeah,
stuff.
Never a good thing you want to hear from somebody.
Yeah,
driving
I'm
to
never
places
really
like-
a thing you want to kind of say to a customer that
Yeah.
you're driving.
And then
on.
remember that other? I think it was me, you, and I can't remember who there was. I think it was just like in halls. So I think there was girls in the taxi with us, and the wee Indian guy like, and he just started speeding. And the girls in the back, they were like laughing and all. I was just like, I think we're gonna die here. And he was like, haha, you like, and then just like, nah.
was I here?
I'm almost
I
certain.
don't
Like,
remember that way.
I think you were like, this is in first year come from halls. And yeah, they were like laughing in the back. I was like, this is not funny. He was flying
Yeah.
through Belfast.
I remember there was another time. There's so many taxi stories that are hilarious. Like,
the fucking
but me and Lewis, like, and Lewis was like freaking out after a night out. Like, he was all kind of antsy or whatever. Like, and and just anxiety, whatever. And we were in the back of the car, and when we got in, he was like, the last thing he wanted was he just wanted to go home and go to bed or whatever. He was just kind of like, these girls like just like go, can we share a taxi? Like, open it in, like jump
yeah.
in, and he was all like, instantly grabbed my leg, like, and I was like,
Oh, no.
man, and they were like, let's go to the Wheelands, yeah, let's go or something. And we were there. She's like, where are you going? And we were like, yeah, it's back to Lands. And yeah, so we drive it, and then I don't know what it was, but they were like, "Oh, were you gonna pay?" And we were like, "No, like, you are
Oh,
here.
but you
Like,
just
well,
scumbags, huh?
obviously, we're gonna half it." And then they were all like, "Oh, fucking cheap bastards" or something. I was like, "You hopped in our taxi. What are you on about? Obviously, we're gonna half it with you." And like at this moment, Lewis was, oh my god, spit. Lewis was like freaking out so much. Like, so this taxi driver like got on the side of the girls, and they were like, "I get the fuck out!" Like, what? He's not even paying for it. And I was like, "Lad, stop being a simp." Like, oh my god, they got in, we have to half it. And then
Yeah,
Lewis
that
like
one.
was so freaked out. He like grabbed like a load of change from his pocket and like fired it in the window, and we both ran out of the way. Like,
We got in a taxi outside Limelight one time, and the taxi driver already had somebody in the front seat, like some fella, and he was like,
I just remember
it's
one.
like, it's like
"Where-
GTA.
were you in this taxi?"
No, I don't think so. Like, but I just remember another story. Like,
And I feel like somebody was in this taxi. I don't know if I feel like it was one
maybe
of the
it might have
boys.
been. Yeah.
But we got inside the taxi outside Limelight, and he already had somebody in the front seat, and the boy was wiped out, like so paralytic. It was unbelievable. Like, and I was thinking, like, this is already not a good sign. Like, we should probably get out of this taxi. Like, and the taxi driver was like, "No, where he's going, where he's going." And I was like, "Oh, wherever lands." Like, and he was like, "Oh yeah, dead on. Can he come with you or something?" And I was like, "What are you saying?" Like, and do you remember this?
Was I there?
And the boy, we drove like, I don't know if we got from like Limelight round to Ormo Road or whatever
So
it was.
fuck, you need a taxi back from Limelight.
Yeah.
It's like a 2 minute
Oh
walk.
yeah, was he not like, would you get this lad a place to stay or something?
Something so weird.
We were like, no.
and the boy was like, and started being sick in the taxi.
Okay, well,
like,
definitely wasn't there.
and then
My bad.
the taxi driver was like, "Oh fuck's sake, wind down that window," and like wind down the window and like pushed him out the window like to get his head, started vomiting all outside the door. I was like, why I don't want to be anywhere less than where I want to be right now.
Yeah.
And then like he stopped the car at like the traffic lights at the bottom of the lands, and your boy like opened the car and sprinted away, and the
Nice.
taxi driver was like wiping it up with like wee tissues or whatever and all there. Then
I remember back when we were going out to Bell. Do you remember? Yeah, I think you were definitely there. And because we needed,
Like
we
years
always needed-
ago?
yeah, we needed like we always need like a 7-seater fucking car because there's so many of us. And I remember it was the end of the night we were waiting for one to, because it always took so long to arrive, and like it'd be freezing.
Those
And,
nights in Banbridge where you're waiting.
they were the worst. They
hours
were
on
like
end,
purgatory. Like the amount of times we were trapped in Banbridge, just like not knowing what we were gonna do because like it's not a city, so like taxis stop really soon, and we'd just be sitting there. But so this night, we all got in, and like we started driving, and then I can't remember who was in the back. Someone was just like, someone like talked, and I was like, I don't know. Turn around, some
Oh
boy
yeah.
was just in the taxi with us. He just got in when we were all getting in. No one noticed, and he's like, "Oh, boys, just going to May Bridge." We were like, "No."
nope.
He's like, "Oh, where's you going?" We were like, "Newry." He's like, "Oh, should we just drive through May Bridge?" I was like, "No, May Bridge is farther than Newry."
Yeah.
And then we were like, "No, we're not going there." And the taxi driver like, "Oh, who is this boy?" Like, and then this guy, they started like haggling for this. I was gonna be so much money too for the boy. It was like 40 quid.
Yeah, and you know that anxiety you get where you just know like the driver's losing his patience.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you're just sitting there like, oh,
Oh,
please
it's just
shut
the
up.
worst. And then he just wetted our lugs the whole way down the
Yeah,
road.
he tried to like recruit us
for drug dealing, like,
he was
ring.
like,
Weird.
this guy's looking to make a wee bit of
Yeah,
cash.
he's like,
a wee
"Oh,
bit of money.
here,
like."
you just want to go to these festivals for me, and then you just bring stuff in, sell it. This, oh, you're gonna get, I'll buy you the ticket and all, and you just sell, and you get to keep all. We were like,
I'm
no,
like, I'm good, cheers. Like,
we just want to go home, please. Leave us
It's like
alone.
4 a.m. Just
I
stop.
know.
Yeah, them nights on Banbridge were the worst. Like I remember, I'm glad fucking Coach is closed.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
Yeah, they did not survive the lockdown. Like.
And I always think about like when we were there, like we were like 16, 17. There were just old men there. That's so fucking weird.
I heard a story about Coach recently. I was talking to a girl. She was telling me that she worked there and all. It was whatever. I can't remember what relation she had or something. She was just my friends with them or something. And then she worked there, and apparently she had to deal with like gypsy travelers, or whatever. They were in there, and apparently that they were in there all the time. And apparently she would have to serve them. And at one point, she told me that she went up, and one of them was
Apparently
like,
she has to serve. I have to do
"No, well, would you hear what I have to fucking say after?" She
Hear that last
maybe
week,
she
yeah. Some traveller hit.
just no, she just happened to be the one that had to serve them a lot. Okay, and she went up to them, and they were just like, "Can you look at that?" or something, and just went. and like ripped open her top,
Oh,
her buttoned top, and exposed her bra or whatever, and they were all laughing, and she was just kind of laughed it off and like was telling me about this, and she was like, "Isn't that crazy?" And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Phone the fucking
yeah,
police.
I was like, why are you being so nonchalant about this? Like, what? Why would you not do something about this? And she's like, no, it's not worth it, you know.
isn't it
Tell
crazy?
you for like, well, we will not even get into that. We're not even getting no. Well, fuck yeah.
Noisy boys stand with feminist movements
yeah.
and whatnot.
But
Noisy boys
What's that?
condemns.
I like. I always remember like coach just stank all the time.
I was never in it.
Were you not?
Nah.
What?
Never made
I
it
always
there.
thought I-
You definitely were.
No,
I was-
actually wasn't. Unless I was there for like somebody's birthday or one of them.
You must have
fundraisers
been,
or
it was
something, but I don't
it
think
was kind of a shithole.
Yeah.
It was
Really?
really, it was really small.
I must remember being with people that you would have been with there. Like, maybe they just
Yeah.
went without you or something.
It was
I don't-
tiny. I thought it was way bigger than it was. It's really small.
Yeah, it's very small.
It's like one club. It's like one club part. Excuse me. One club, and it's just like if you can imagine like a really, really small area, that's it. And then there's the DJ, and then the rest, like
There's an
the
alleyway out the back.
yeah, the bulk of it is just
Mm.
smoking areas, which
Yeah, the
is
smoking area.
Yeah,
Was
people
which
love
isn't as
smoking
bad
around.
if they had a DJ. I think the coolest thing that Thompson does is that they have a DJ in the smoking area, which
Yeah, it's
makes
great.
it such a
Revolutionary.
vibe. Like,
Great.
yeah, but they don't have that.
Bet
So
our
it's just screaming.
Coach was the only place I went and didn't. It's the only nightclub I've ever been in and not drank.
Oh, that's weird.
One night
It's
for some
horrible.
reason. Yeah, for some reason one night me and Daniel were just doing fuck all, and he was like, "Do you want to go to Coach?"
I did.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
and then
Oh,
you like
I
picked me
remember
up.
that, actually.
And we went,
Oh,
and
really?
you were like, "Oh, you can drink," and I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna fucking drink if you're not gonna drink. Like, what's the point?" And then I think I still actually yeah, that's a lie. I think I had one. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Why would you not? Like, I remember.
Um,
Oh, I think I know
I
why.
remember it was just weird. We just were like wetting lugs and all.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like our lugs
I-
were getting wet. Like it was strange.
I don't understand how you did that. Like went clubbing
Yeah.
for a good solid portion of your life without
Yeah.
ever drinking. Like I don't understand how you dealt with drunk people, let alone the wet and like I like music now, but back then I was only ever into it if I was steaming.
I like music.
Yeah,
like
but
music.
But the music was shit. It was all
Yeah,
bootlegs.
no, the music and Coach was shite.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
It was like that boy
And do you
Teddy
know-
Cream like music. Like
Yeah.
wherever
Was Teddy
he
Cream
is.
not? Did we not see him there?
Yeah, no, he's on.
he was in Coach.
Was
wasn't
he?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was Bell.
We,
But
saw
anyway,
we also
but-
saw Fat Man Scoop. Shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out
Christmas
Scoop
Fat
Man.
Man Scoop.
Shout out Scoop.
Go.
You didn't see him. You went to the smoking area and came back and was like, "Was he on?"
Oh yeah.
And we were all like, "Yeah, he was on for like 3 hours." Where were
That's
you?
a
Like,
wife.
In front of the Christmas Fat Man.
What? What is that? What is that one song? The only song that he's got?
huh?
I
All the
got
chicken
Who
heads.
fucking a night?
be
Who
quiet.
fucking a night?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what is that?
All the
All the
chicken
chicken
heads.
heads,
Be quiet.
No,
It
That's
is.
well,
It's
what's
like,
the other
you got
one?
$100
No, it's all
bill.
the same song.
It's like you got a $100 bill.
Who
Put your
fucking
hands
a
up.
night? Who fucking a night?
But like, what's
That
the
is
other?
his
What's the
famous
main
one.
line out of that song?
It goes
Um,
number
Number
engine 9 or
nine,
something.
something.
Oh my God.
Pick it up,
Get
pick
it
it
up,
up, pick it up. Yeah.
Let's
Fat Man
go.
Scoop.
This is a horrendous
Let's go.
segment. Everyone listens like
Oh,
all
my phone
300,000.
thinks I'm a bot. Thanks. Fat Man Scoop. Be faithful. It
That
takes
is
Yes,
it. That's
that's
the one
it,
we're
that's
talking
it.
about.
I can't even think what that goes like. Put your hands up.
We were just
Be
singing
quiet.
it
Yeah,
so
anyway,
much.
yeah,
like,
we saw him there, like,
yeah.
which is again crazy that he had like
And it-
come from
what
like
I'm
New
saying
York
is-
to go to Banbridge to underage disco or
yeah.
Probably wasn't Fat Man Scoop.
no, it literally was.
wasn't.
Like,
Have you ever seen?
And
the-
wasn't he wearing a Christmas hat? I
Have-
remember seeing photos of him. But
Have
don't
you
know.
have you
I
seen
can't
the,
remember.
the funniest video ever?
probably in the middle of July or something.
Fat Man Scoop was on this like economy class flight or like Flybe or EasyJet fucking
Ryanair.
like flight, and they must just knew he was on it, so they got him to go up to like the intercom or whatever it's fucking
Yeah.
called, and he was just like, yeah, put your hands up, and everyone's all like,
Mate, that
what
would
the
be the
fuck
best.
is going on? And everyone's all like laughing. It's the most awkward thing I've ever seen. And there's no music, whatever. He's just screaming into this like intercom.
Because he doesn't sing or anything.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
just
think
screams.
and he doesn't
He's a
even
hype
rap.
man.
He doesn't
Yeah,
rap. Yeah, he
yeah,
literally is just
yeah.
that. He
He's
just
got-
shouts things like
Yeah,
phrases.
He's got a big, beautiful, gruffly voice, and that's what it is. Like.
But yeah, I remember like Bell was he was bad as well. But I think
Yeah.
I probably preferred that than Coach.
whenever they opened the whole place up, it was nice.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I
'cause
remember they had
Bell-
like the R&B room.
Yeah,
and
it was
then,
huge.
Oh yeah,
one at the
Fuck, I actually
back as
forgot- I
well,
completely
like,
forgot about all
the
that.
disco room. or
Yeah, it was
something,
chilled. I didn't mind it,
Yeah,
but
it
I
was
remember
tidy.
when we went.
the smoking area is woeful. Remember they had it like
yeah,
they
yeah.
had
And
it
everyone's just always
fenced off,
throwing, they're climbing up the walls and all.
yeah.
Oh fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah.
I always think it's crazy that like, like
How that wasn't shut down?
yeah,
That's what I always
like
think.
that must
we-
be someone's paying the police or something.
Yeah, because
like.
I was 16.
I was
Because they're not a thing anymore, so we couldn't talk.
No,
about it.
you were 17.
but I was 16 when I first went. Because I remember,
No, because then I would have been 15. I don't think I was that young.
I remember
no,
going,
because I remember I had my own
You had your provisional,
but it said
Do you not
I
have
was
to be
16.
yeah,
It's
you do.
17 to get it.
Yeah. So
Oh.
you were 17. I was
Oh,
16.
Right. Okay. Sorry. So I was 17, and I remember. Really?
Or else you can
Yeah.
get it at 16 and a half, but I think it's 17.
Because you're like
Weirdly
you're
remember-
like almost a full year old. So if you got a 16, I was 15. I don't know if I was that young.
Well, anyway,
going.
but I remember just using my own ID, and they would just look at it and be like, right, sweet.
Yeah, I always had to
Everyone was
get fucking half the town and country's IDs just to go. And that was the weird thing. It's like if you didn't have an ID, they wouldn't let you in. But
Your
You
ID
cle-
didn't
it
have to
clearly
look
wasn't
anything
you,
like
like.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
I
the guy I was got
your
his
IDs
ginger.
Yeah, your IDs were
Were
ridiculous
whack,
how
like.
you got in with.
It was
like.
crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't
Mine
get
was just
in.
myself, and
I didn't get into Quinn's any time I went. Like I always had to use the side door. I went to the Quinn's first time whenever I was 15, which is very freaking young.
Yeah.
If you think back
yeah,
about
but
it.
you
like.
didn't even drink, so
Yeah.
I know, but
That's
they
what
don't know that.
I remember trying to argue that with one of the
That's
bouncers.
the biggest spoof ever.
Yeah.
They're gonna be
And I was
like,
like, mate, I have my car keys. I don't even drink. Please
my
just let
mate's
me
in there. I just want to go
Yeah.
and get him. Not even gonna drink. Swear to God. To be fair, sometimes that even works, and they're like, right, just go
Right.
get him.
Yeah,
You're all
fuck
like,
off.
let's go.
Yeah,
yeah, I
you
remember
rock
like
out.
with Dowds and all. Sometimes they'd be sweet.
Yeah, they actually would be sound.
Them the days,
I think-
summer days.
I think Dodge is the only time I ever got turned away. I think.
I got turned away though because I didn't have an ID once,
I was
and I just chanced my
forever
arm.
getting
like.
turned away at places.
No, I got in every other time. Remember,
Chancing your arm with an ID is the most anxiety thing ever.
Yeah,
You're
it
like going
is.
up and you're
but
like,
like at least you
fuck.
had them like years of number one. You're like a year older, so when we were like there was a whole year where you were 18, and like me and fucking Lewis, we were fucked. Like the
Yeah.
anxiety of everyone was like, oh, we just go out like tomorrow night. And you're like, oh, that means I have to
Yeah.
text like people I hardly know, being like, can I borrow your ID, mate? And
It
like
is-
go to
It-
like the amount of times I had to get buses.
there's
places
a
just to
weird
pick
like
up.
going out community. If you text a random, like, can I use your ID? They're usually kind of like, yeah,
There should be some service where you can
like an app.
rent people's
Wait,
ID.
no, it's not.
to
It's
make
very illegal.
yeah, it's so illegal.
Oh, it's so illegal, but like I don't know, Facebook Marketplace it or
And
something.
then remember those always just them ones that would like lose people's IDs. Like,
Wipeout.
that I would.
Happened my
Break
ID once.
something.
It's like 60
Did
quid
it?
to get it replaced or something. How much is it to get it replaced?
45, I think, or maybe it's 60. I don't know actually. Maybe it's 60 a badge your first time, and then 45 every other time.
That's a wipeout. Like,
Still,
like
Yeah.
especially when you're in school. So that's a lot. That's so much money.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
that's just so much money now. What am I on about? Like,
know. You'd be broke, like.
yeah, it's like I remember like so many times. Like, so say we were going out like later, like around 8 or 9, I would have to get a bus in Newry by myself to go and like meet some boy just to get his fucking ID. Like,
Yeah.
and like so it'd be like, oh yeah, I'll meet you in the Butter Queen or something. Then
so sketchy.
it's so sketchy, and they'd be like doing their own thing, like they'd like sometimes just be like an hour late, like, oh yes, it's sorry,
Yeah, and you can't. Be
and you
like,
can't bitch because you're like,
Yeah, I'm
"Ah,
taking your ID.
Yeah.
fuck, it was the
Worst
worst.
5 hour, like.
And then the moment you were 18,
I
you're
never
like,
had to do that.
and then the moment I turned 18, I'd barely been fucking ID'd ever,
There was one by who,
like a fucking
whenever I had like a very specific haircut back in like 4th or 5th year,
The fuck does that mean? Like?
me and him looked the exact same on his ID. Like, I mean, ridiculously similar. And he only lent to me for it one time, and any other time I asked him, he said no. Like, he didn't say no,
Oh.
but he just made up like some shit excuse.
yeah.
Like, oh, somebody else already has it or something. And it like
yeah.
it absolutely wiped me out because it was like a perfect match for me. You know what I mean?
I don't think I've ever been asked either.
Yeah.
But I
Weirdly,
do-
I think I was asked by someone that like I was like,
No way.
and to be fair, I don't even no, I wasn't even that I wouldn't give it. I was going out anyway, like, because once I was 18, I was just like we were just
Yeah.
always going out, so you just kind of
Yeah.
need it, like,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like you're like kind of just fucking annoyance because then it means you can't go out and not be like scared.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind giving somebody my passport though.
No,
It's
passport
even
is
more of a
worse.
wipeout.
That's
It
even
is.
more of a wipeout.
But I just know the struggle. Like, so
Well,
I
obviously
wouldn't
now I
mind.
can't like
No.
See,
See,
this age, like, you
it's
can't
kind of
really-
weird. Like now,
Some of
you
our
could like not have your wallet and go to like an offie and you wouldn't even think twice. But like a couple of years earlier, you'd be like,
Tesco, mate, they car.
oh yeah, they're just
Oh,
really
wipeouts.
anal about it.
for
Like,
sometime like I most of the time I get away if I get an ID.
In Tesco.
Yeah,
I
I've
never
had it a
get
few
ID'd. I only get ID'd whenever you're there.
yeah, that was in fucking Lidl.
Yeah, but anytime we went to Tesco before as well, and they were like, "Can't serve it. He's
To,
with you."
to be fair, just because I look the youngest.
Tee-hee.
Tee-hee. And yeah, I've been to Tesco like loads of times and like never been ID'd.
Yeah.
Even like when but it feels like the minute that you don't have it is when you get ID'd, and then you have to fucking do the whole rigmarole.
Yeah. Ha. I just remember like the moment we were 18, you're just like, thank fuck.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, it's just so much hot. I think so.
Big stress.
Yeah. Literally.
I get yeah. What's funny is like America, like they, you know, we still wouldn't be able to. Well, I guess you both can. Like.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, I couldn't. But I mean, still though, like imagine to this point, like you only just turned 21, like so up to that point, you would have
Well,
still
like,
been living that life, like
yeah, like
of like just
stupid, like.
not being up. Which I don't know, because they always seem to be like so strict. But then how does anyone ever get fucking drink in America or go
They
out?
must
I
just
don't-
do house parties. I don't
that's-
think they go out that much. do they?
Yeah, their whole culture is not as involved with drink as we are.
Yeah, actually, maybe that's it. Like no,
Like,
but
they go out and they're like, "Hey, you want to go for a swim or something?" Or we're like,
I think
I think
that's
they love
I think that's
grass.
up to a point. I think that's
Yeah.
only what you see.
I think they love.
I think
grass.
that's
Yeah.
only what you see. But I mean, like I think in like the East Coast, I think still like big fucking Irish populations, like in
yeah, I don't know.
Philadelphia and all. I'm pretty sure like
Yeah,
stories
because
I've
Philadelphia
heard,
has like shit ton of bars in it.
yeah, that they drink from an early age. Like I don't think that they don't.
I remember.
I think that's
like,
just like fucking TikTok kids.
like I was seeing my cousins, like they live on East Coast, and like
Nice.
going to some house party or something that one of them was going to, and she was like 18 at the time, and their whole carry out was like a bottle of wine between 6 of them or something. And I remember thinking, like, damn,
A bottle of wine between 6 of them.
yeah,
How the fuck are you gonna get blocked?
that was the whole thing.
Oh.
I think we have a problem.
Yeah, 6 bottles of wine between one of us.
Yeah, like it's like remember it's just fucking started summer. It was 2 bottles
Yeah,
each.
it was two for
Yeah.
the buzz, like.
Yeah,
you
two
know?
two
before-
before you go out.
Yeah,
Two
two
before we
for-
went to the pub. Like.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, people can relate. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big man.
if you're
Binge
American,
drinking.
you
Shout out wine drinkers.
no,
Shout out Echo Falls.
Rest in peace.
no,
Bring
fuck
back
Echo
on,
Falls. Yeah,
but not
you,
forgotten.
Bring back the old Echo Falls.
you
like,
Yeah.
ruined everything.
just
Like,
fucked everything up for us. We were having such good
That was
fun.
the best. Like, just getting this 2 bottles so cheap.
yeah.
And they said,
Do you remember that in Tesco they did it for like £3?
yeah,
Yeah.
$3.49 or something.
And you
like-
could get blocked for £6.
exactly.
And if you're lightweight, you could get blocked for £3.
Is that not the ultimate? I was scotching 2 bottles. That how dare you?
I was pointing
Just point
myself.
What's the TikTok for the
Yeah, right,
fucking
motherfucker.
video of that? Like?
Oh yeah, the behind the scenes, like.
Yeah, but yeah, not shout out Echo Falls. We condemn you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
There's a lot of
yous.
condemnation on this
I know.
podcast. Yeah, but that's us at
I think that's time, is it? Fuck me.
57.
I feel like we talked about 2 things there, but
Yeah, taxis. Echo
can't
Falls.
flew by.
Yeah.
So it's
Called
been
the taxi.
the Noisy Boys podcast with
James.
Daniel.
I'm Myles. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.
But